How much money do you have invested and or saved so far?
That's a great question. I don't know.
1,000 in like a stock.
I'd have to talk to my parents about that. I have no idea, actually.
I'm just gonna see it when I get the bill.
I don't know, $20.
Invested probably about 50K.
I'm from Copenhagen, Denmark.
Yeah, I am actually being paid to be here.
$20 in investments, I have $0 saved.
There you go, 20 will compound, you know?
Yeah.
There is a massive debt issue in America, and in specific, student loan debt. It's one of the few debts that cannot be forgiven. And what I mean by this, of why this is such an issue, is because just a degree is not a good investment like it used to be. There is an increase of 320% to 720% increase in tuition costs. Then you look at actually the salary increase has only been 15 to 20%. The US has $1.8 trillion in student loan debt. So today we're in person at Madison to actually ask students how much debt they have currently, what is their plan to pay it off, how much money they have saved and or invested, and some juicy questions like who's the most successful person in their network. So let's get to it. What are your names, age, and major?
My name's Andrew.
I'm Lydia.
My name's Elise.
My name's Jacob.
I'm Maggie. I'm 21, and I am a Spanish and human development major, and I'm pre-physical therapy.
Awesome. How much money do you have invested and or money saved?
Saved about 7K, and I would say invested probably about 50K.
My name is Michael, and I am 19 years old, and I'm an economics major.
Awesome. So how much student debt do you have, if any?
I don't have any student debt.
Okay, that's awesome. And then how is that from scholarships, money saved, family?
Money saved, family, yeah, I'm pretty fortunate circumstances. Yeah, no student debt right now.
Awesome. And the next question is how much money do you have in investments and or bank accounts?
Right now I have about $400 in investments. My bank account's about $15,000.
There you go.
But I have a little bit invested in the stock market in a couple stocks.
Awesome. What stocks? Individuals?
I have Target stock and Tesla stock.
Let's start with what is your name, age, and major?
Colton Vishny, I'm 19, I'm a personal finance and poli-sci major.
Awesome. And then the next question is how much student debt do you have, if any?
I'm taking out $35K a year.
So it's an investment. You gotta make it worth it.
I mean, I think like with the double major and the extracurriculars I'm doing, I think should be paid off within 10 years out of undergrad, probably 5 if I live on ramen and a cheap apartment.
And then the next question is how much money do you have in investments and or saved currently?
$20 in investments, I have $0 saved.
I'm Gavin Goodlad, I'm 20 years old, and I'm an econ major.
Awesome. And the next question is how much student debt do you currently have, if any?
Oh, shit. I think I'm 60,000 in debt.
60,000?
Yeah, as a junior, yeah.
That's not too bad. There's a lot of six figures are up, it seems like. So you got it. That's doable.
It's probably going to be 120 after this, this year.
You could have bought a Lamborghini Huracan used.
Yeah, but you know what? It's college education. It's fun.
Yeah. So the next question is how much money do you have in investments and or bank account?
I just got back from abroad, so I spent most of my investments. But if you asked me last year, I had 10,000. But now I have nothing in investments, 2,000 in the bank.
What were you studying abroad?
Was it like where? Or?
Yeah, like where and still were you still studying
I
the same
studied international finance in Madrid.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, different world out there.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
What were you thinking? Well, that's a herd. I think they're all coming here. I don't think we can hit all at once, but we'll figure it out.
I'm Giselle Yokomichi. I'm a freshman here, and I'm pre-business, but I want to go into finance.
And then how much student debt, if any, do you have currently?
I don't have any right now. My parents are paying for my tuition.
Okay, awesome. And then do you have any investments currently and or money saved?
I have my own money saved, but my parents are investing for me.
Good. Awesome. And like just Roth and mutual funds, stuff like that?
Mutual, yeah.
There you go. How much student debt do you have, if any?
Oh gosh, let me think. Between 5 and 10K.
5 and 10? Okay.
I have no answer. I don't know if I can even keep track of that right now. I'm just gonna see it when I get the bill.
Yeah.
I know, I don't look at it very much, but yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. So the next question is, do you have any plans to pay that principal down for the debt, if any plans?
Yeah, with most of my loans, I'm accruing interest on it right now, but I don't have to start paying them till I graduate. So I was just planning on, I have a savings account growing right now, and I'm planning on just using that as kind of the beginning of paying them off, and hopefully I should be making a decent amount of money post-grad right away and just paying it off with that paycheck, honestly.
Awesome.
So I'm paying them off.
Yeah, I'm doing that too, like keeping up with the interest, and then when it comes back, just try to pay it off as much as I can.
Yeah. And then the next question is, do you have, if any, investments and or money saved in bank accounts?
Yeah, I just have a savings account that I pay into every paycheck, so I take a portion, but I don't have any investments, but that is something I should probably get into once I have like a good chunk of money to invest.
Yep.
Yeah, I have some savings, and then I have investments, but my dad runs that. I put the money in, and then he tells me what to put it into. So
thank goodness for dad.
Yeah, he's got all that. So.
So gosh, 12,000 in debt. I think
There you go.
The math I think works out there. So I was saying a good amount of debt.
So have you been working to pay it off as time goes on as
Yeah,
well?
I think like once I graduate, my plan is to sort of try to pay it off, and like right now, just kind of using my own funds for housing and food and all that stuff. I'm trying to live there, and then when I hopefully get a job in the future, slowly paying it off through a plan.
There you go. That's awesome.
I consider myself very lucky. I actually don't have any student loan debt. My parents cover whatever I have to pay. In a good position, and it's kind of opened me up to focus on more enriching things for the finances I do.
Dinner's on you after college.
Honestly,
I've worked 2 jobs my entire life, so I actually have no debt, but I pay for my own college and tuition and rent and everything, so I just kind of prioritize working over everything else, but having a virtual job has made that really easy. So 1 in person, 1 virtual, no debt yet, so that's kind of awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
See with I got lucky because my parents also set aside some money. Yeah.
There you go. And then the next question is, do you have, if any, investments and or money saved in bank accounts?
not any bank accounts, but I do have like a good amount saved in stocks there, and I also have like a Roth IRA going as well. Yeah, same here. Didn't have the forethought to get a Roth IRA, but I got some in stocks. I have some in my savings account, but most of it was used on rent and all that, so not too much.
I have a college savings account that gets interest on it, and then I also have a retirement account that I put money in every paycheck.
There you go.
I just have just a Roth IRA and then just a couple accounts that I got my stocks in.
Awesome.
My name is Oliver. I'm 21 and I'm an exchange student, so I'm technically not majoring in anything. But I would say I'm majoring in finance and entrepreneurship.
Where are you at, like, originally?
So I'm from Copenhagen, Denmark.
Oh, wow.
So I'm here for a semester, just for 4 months. And
There.
yeah.
That's awesome. I got friends out there, Jacob, if you're watching this. Yep. It looks beautiful out there in Denmark. So my next question is, if you're abroad, do you have any student debt then?
No, university is actually free if you have a European passport. So I have a Danish passport. So tuition's free, and then we also we actually get paid to go to school by the government. So we get a small amount of money each month to kind of support us.
Yeah. So you're getting paid to be here.
Yeah, I'm actually being paid to be here, pretty much.
That's awesome.
Don't
I didn't know that.
tuition here either, so
You there?
Yeah.
That's awesome. The next question then is, do you have any money in investments and or bank account?
yeah, I do. I have a few different investments. I have investments in tech stocks and a few ETFs as well. So
Do you know what individual tech stocks?
yeah, so I had in Tesla for a while. I rode the Nvidia wave for a while as well, but I kind of out of that, and now I'm more into ETFs and just have like standard SP 500 investments.
Awesome. This was just a handful of the students out of the hundreds that we interviewed. And let me tell you, it was alarming to actually see and hear how many students were just ignoring the reality of not only their life situation, but financial situation. They were all hyped up when they were like, hey, you want to be in a video or YouTube or whatever? They were just like ecstatic. And then we start filming. By the end of it, my buddy Cole was like, we just completely killed their vibe on game day. And that is exactly what we did, not intentionally, but it just really made me realize they do not want to think about this. They don't want to think about the debt that they're about to take. They don't want to think about the reality of no money in their bank account and an investment that might not even be an investment. This was not enough information for me to leave. I wanted to ask one bonus juicy question, which is, who is the most successful person in their network or contacts? As an entrepreneur, I'm a firm believer that your network is your net worth. So I'm very curious if these college students are actually leveraging their positioning in these ecosystems of actually improving their network. For some of the college students, this was very niche and uncomfortable, and then for some, this was like second nature. But there were some very, very interesting responses for some of them, and here's what they said. Who is the most successful person in your contacts and or network?
Ooh, in my contacts, that's a tough one. I mean, I would say my dad, honestly. I mean, I know it's kind of a boring answer, but my dad did super well.
Okay.
Yeah, he's inspired me to save money. And
what industry is he in?
He is in the law industry. He's a lawyer for Target. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. There you go. That's why he bought Target. You're betting on him. You know the lawsuits.
I'm
you got the inside trading.
I'm betting on him. For sure.
Pelosi has competition.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Awesome.
For
Thank
sure.
you so much, man.
No problem. I appreciate it. Nice meeting you.
It's my dad. It's my dad, Mr. Blinker. Yes, he's a doctor, and yes, he is internal medicine. So he works with COVID patients, those type of patients, patient zeros.
Awesome.
I'd say the most successful person is my dad.
My mom.
I'd say my dad. He's a scout for the MLB.
My mother.
Probably my dad.
Yeah, for me, it's also my dad. He started a parking business, and then he sold it off. So
And by parking, like meters, like the parcels where you have to park?
Have you ever scanned your phone like with a ticket to get into a parking garage?
Yeah.
Yeah, he invented that.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
I'm being dead ass.
Oh wow. What's the like specifics of like the name? Like of
so it's called ParkConnect, and then he sold it to Flash Parking. Like,
oh wow.
In 2020 or something.
So he's definitely pretty good with like coding, IT, and that kind of
Not
thing.
him specifically, but he definitely has coders and stuff. He just had the idea and he put it into place.
Awesome. Do you know like the amount that sold off to when it got acquired?
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. Yeah. That was the most unique answer I've heard for that. Like seriously, I've heard. I mean, sports players, that kind of thing, but parking. I mean, that's insane. Yeah, that's cool, dude.
It's pretty cool.
That's a good question. Probably some of my dad's friends. Yeah, they're in somewhere in the sports industry, somewhere in real estate, and yeah.
Professional goalie and play at A's for Canada. We reached out over email, and he came to my little brother's birthday party a couple years back.
There you go. So it's living proof. Cold outreach does work, if anything.
Roommate's mom, she was like a CFO at a Fortune 500 company.
I actually have a managing director at Baker Tilly in my network, thankfully.
My dad, he's really good with his money, and I feel like he's just smart.
And what industry is he in?
He actually works for like a construction company, and he's just like built his way up to like a manager spot, but he's really smart with his money, and yeah.
That's awesome. Do you know what construction company it is and the area?
It's in Illinois. It's called Mid-States Construction, but it's kind of local, so I don't know if you would know.
Yeah. Awesome. And then yourself coming back?
My grandparents, they were farmers, and my grandpa's actually had some really, hired some really good, we have a financial advisor who helps my family, and he was able to save his money from farming, invest it really well, and they're actually living pretty comfortably in retirement after being farmers, so.
Oh, wow. And then is that first generation, second, third with agriculture and ownership of the land?
Yeah, my grandpa, his parents were farmers.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if their parents were farmers. I don't know anything past there, but yeah. But no one in my family has taken over the farm, unfortunately. We don't run it anymore. But yeah, so yeah, I come from, line of farmers.
That's awesome. And then is that in Wisconsin?
Yeah, in Wisconsin. Yeah, and they've actually, my grandpa was really smart with buying land when he was younger, putting a lot of money towards buying land, because if they have hit a hard spot, they're able to sell land to other agriculture in the area, so.
That's awesome. And are they able to sell it off as actual buildable land? Do they have to turn it, I know tax codes can be weird with agriculture.
Some of it they have sold to other farmers in the area, and then the farmers just use it to turn crops, so even though they aren't farming anymore, the fields around my house still are used to grow crops. And then I know we did have a plot that they sold out that ended up getting built on.
Through there? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you have any debt, they got to sell off a little quarter of an acre, then you're good.
Hey, Grandma, Papa, you really think you could maybe pay off my college loans with some of the land?
That's awesome.
I think the most successful person actually probably be my aunt. My aunt is she's a general surgeon, and she's made her way up. I mean, my parents came from Vietnam, so they didn't have a lot of money coming back. So I mean, my mom and my aunt and my uncle all went to college there, and she's worked her way up, and she has a great house and great kids and just a wonderful family there, and she's one of the most successful people that I've ever seen. She really kind of beat the sort of the mold there and really got to be a really cool person. So
awesome.
She's probably my most successful person.
Congrats. And yourself?
Probably the most successful person on my contacts list is one of my mom's good friends from college, Wisconsin alum, Andy Sanis. He was a founder of a M&A firm up in Milwaukee.
Oh, wow.
And I've talked to him a lot about it. He's thankfully retired, very lucky too, but I'd say most likely him. Yeah.
That's awesome. And yourself?
I would either have to say my dad, who owns a photography business, or I kind of crazy enough have Jeff Bezos' son in my Instagram.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he goes to school in Yale, and I met him recently, so we connected on Instagram.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. How did that happen?
My brother goes to school in Yale, and I went to visit him, and I actually helped Jeff Bezos' son move into his apartment, and I didn't know who it was until my brother was like, hey, by the way, that's Jeff Bezos' son, and I was like, oh. So I now have him on Instagram.
Wow.
Don't really know how I feel about that, but I have that connection, so.
Yeah. And then yourself?
I don't know. I don't think I have anyone, but in 20 years, I'll be the top one. I'll be the top one. Yeah. They'll all say my name.
There you go. And then a bonus question. Do you guys have any plans for, to get a job? I know a huge issue right now is people getting a job after college. They feel like their degree hasn't been, working with them, but rather against them. And then people are saying also LinkedIn isn't even really working as well. So I'm curious, do you guys have any plans or connections helping with that, family, friends?
Yeah. I luckily did get an internship that actually happens next next spring. Madison has like a really great master's program here, so like they kind of are in anticipation that a lot of accounting students will kind of go to these like bigger firms like PwC or KPMG and all those. So I was lucky enough to get an internship there, and then hopefully I do well enough that they come and hire me back for 2027 there. So yeah, I do have one lined up.
Awesome. And then yourself?
Personally, I'm still looking. I'm still open to a lot of offers, but what I want to say is I think Madison especially has really good connections with a lot of larger corporate firms. And a lot of those firms have alumni in them, so we're in a unique opportunity where we have the advantage of having kind of a nice little niche to put ourselves in the job market. So I am feeling pretty comfortable in my position, especially we get a lot of the job fairs, a lot of our organizations reach out and contact some of these larger firms to work at. So obviously the market's constricting. I think it's not yet constricted entirely on a lot of the corporate jobs that we're going to be going into as business students, but that obviously is a fear kind of going forwards for me.
That's awesome. It sounds like Madison definitely is helping funnel the after steps. And then yourself, your opinion? Or
Yeah, I've been using career fairs and Handshake to kind of get jobs. It is really hard, though, I will say, especially being an informational science major, AI is really making it difficult to get jobs. But using connections from professors has been really helpful, and career fairs I've gotten most of my interviews from. So
okay,
yeah,
awesome. And then yourself?
Yeah, I mean, same thing Jackson said. There's a lot of resources, a lot of career fairs and opportunities to network. But I mean, like you said, Handshake, LinkedIn, very hard to find jobs nowadays. But that's for everyone. It's not really just for our majors or our age group or whatever. So just like everyone else is doing, just gotta apply to every single thing we can.
Yeah.
Just scoping it out. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. All your answers were great. I had to keep it going. That bonus question, I was like, you guys are just keeping going. Those were some unique answers from the students, and it actually surprised me. But I was also surprised in a negative way at the fact that a lot of their network was their parents or family friends, because that just shows me that they're not utilizing their resources and area ecosystem of college like they should be. Because there's a lot of people I hear, they get the piece of paper that they think they need, but that's not enough, because they don't know someone to get their foot in the door. When you have LinkedIn that's saturated with AI, you have Handshake or these other apps that are also saturated just in general. So you need to really prioritize your network, like anything. If you're in business, that's always helped me tremendously. Without a network, I probably wouldn't be anywhere near where I am. And if I was in college, I mean, forget about it. I would be helpless. So hopefully a lot of these kids, their parents are able to get them somewhere, or their friends or mutual people can, because if not, they're literally going to go in a bunch of debt with no opportunity or investment to actually make it an investment, but rather just a trap. Now with education, this started with Sparta, Aztecs, and medieval times to literally breed people to prepare for war. But now you have today, in an education economy, everyone needs this piece of paper, everyone is educated. But where did this go from war to everyone is educated and people are going in debt? Now in the middle, there's a man named Horace Mann. What this guy did was, his belief was everyone should have education. It made public schools funded by taxpayers, and then it had a bunch of people starting to get educated essentially. And this was very crucial after World War II, because before that, in around the 1800s, only the very, very big elite and wealthy people were able to get educated. So it makes me think that around this time of after World War II and the industrial age, what they really wanted to do was make the working ants and bees, basically the poor and middle class, more smarter to build up America, to then have more benefit for the people at the top. Because when you have all these working ants and bees make things look better, not only is it for them, but it's also competition of other countries and enemies to basically just make us okay. And this is why my argument to kind of second that is, I don't agree with everyone saying, screw my country, let's revolt, blah, blah, blah. Because think about it, if you do that, you weaken the country you live in. Now your country's vulnerable, and another country that has unity and just more democracy will take over you. But then on the other standpoint, I see if people aren't getting paid in direct, the fruits of their labor, that direct proportion is gonna be a problem. People are gonna start to revolt. And that's what we're seeing here with the debt, just living, just everything going on right now is just mayhem. And I do not see this lasting long. Before I go off the deep end, let's discuss if you should go to college, or if you're in college, did you make a mistake? I'm not gonna sit here like every other entrepreneur and say, don't go to college, it's a scam. Because if you don't have good resources or connections, and you're not really an entrepreneur or have any sort of skill set or traits that show that you're an entrepreneur right now, then you should go to college. You should go to something or do something that actually aligns with some sort of structure. Because with structure, you have discipline. With discipline, you can put in action with something, but that's also within reason. So let's just talk about this one simple thought process to conclude this video. When you're listening and or watching, or both, you need to write down your name, what it is you want out of life. What do you like in life? What do you hate in life? Then write a timeline. This is time significance. The average age and the death of a male is 70.5. The female is 80.5. So what you need to do here is figure out where you're going to be on your average deathbed by statistics to where you are now watching this or listening, and fill in those blanks. When you do this, you can see if college aligns with you. You can see if a business aligns with you. You can see where you want to live in life. You could see where that boyfriend or girlfriend and the person you want to be and make love, yada, yada. All of this stuff will come to just life. And what's funny is this is already here. Everything you want in life is already on this planet. You just need to have a plan, implement action, and the rest is history. So it really aggravates me when there's a lot of people that act on college because their parents or friends expected they have to. It really pisses me off when people say, why'd you drop out, to the entrepreneur that is then rethinking everything he or she did in his life or her life and then becomes immensely successful. But that whole time, they were like, what are you doing? And what's funny is in this just stage act, just BS of a world that we have, everyone looks at you like you're a loser, or you're doing everything wrong in life if you're not doing what's expected of you by society standards. And if you fail by not having money, you're looked at as an idiot. If you drop out, you're an idiot. But then if you make it, you make some money, you're a genius. Whoa, wow, who would have thought of that? That's the life we're in, and that is wrong. So in conclusion, write down, figure out who you are. What do you want? And that should be your answer. Not the guru, not your parents, not your friends, but you. Because when this world has more free thinkers that have self-belief and you have confidence and you actually go for what you want in this world, that is happiness. That is present moment. That is intelligence. It's not just this test. Hey, you gotta B, you gotta C. No. It's what goals do you want, figuring out what that is, who you are, and if you obtain it. And once you do, you're a genius. You're intelligent. You're everything. So with that, my friends, before I get way too fired up as usual, thanks for tuning in. This is a different video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment or whatever to let me know what I can do differently if you want more of this. Other than that, until next time, my friends.